Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me by now, my name is Trini Lovely, and today we're going to have a very interesting topic. We're going to get back on Spiritual Wednesdays, and I'm going to actually go into this video explaining to you how I got promoted at my job and which Psalms I actually use. Yes, as I stated before, how I got promoted at my job and became a supervisor, and I wanted to let you know what Psalms that I use to make this happen. So I want you to keep in mind that we are actually in the energy of receiving. If you watch my last video, I explained to you that the calendar, right? So there's phases of the moon, and each phases in the moon actually brings something into our realm, right? So there's a new moon, there's the full moon, and so we're underneath the energy that we can receive. So the first half of the month, and always of the month, it is a time and it's energy for you to be receiving things, and then at the ending of the month, to the middle to the end, it's the time of you banishing. And if you look at my previous videos, I go into details and I submit you a calendar showing you the calendar for April, and you can see that as well in April. And I explain to you which time frames allow you to receive and which allows you to banish. And when I say banish, remove. Okay, so let's start. So I'm using back the same Psalms book. If you know, in my earlier videos, I was using a Kabbalah Magic Psalms book, right? So it was a Kabbalah book, and it had Hebrew names in there. It had God names, where you can say it in Hebrew. This time around, I'm actually using a Psalms book, but I'm not using where you're gonna see the Hebrew names in the way how it's telling you to use the Psalms. Each book has its own energy, and when you say these Psalms with the in details of how to use it, both of them, either one of them, is going to allow you to connect to the energy, and you're going to start seeing the reality of what you're asking for come through. So it's not one versus one. It's just that I want to go through this book as exactly how I went through the other book. Since this is the book that I have been using, and this is what you guys are asking for. You're asking for Psalms, how to use the Psalms to get what you guys want. So now let's go into, because before I was telling you how to, get rid of an enemy. This time, let's talk about us receiving blessings, right? So in Psalm 20, right? It says, before entering any tub or shower, it's recommended for you to repeat this psalm while taking a bath, on verse 5, right? So while you're taking a bath, so they want you to use element of water, right? So the last time I told you how to use the element of fire where you lit the candle. This time around, it's telling you how to use the element of water. And keep in mind, water element is to use for emotions, right? Because water is emotions, fire is passion. But in this Psalm 20, we're going to be using water. So it's telling you, go into a tub or the shower, and you will say Psalm 5, and it's basically, this psalm is for heavenly blessing, right? So it says, we will rejoice in thy salvation and in the name of our God, and we will set up our banners, and the Lord will fulfill all thy petition, right? And be assured that the blessing will be plentiful. So this is how you get things done. This is how you get things done. You're going to go through these Psalms books and you're going to say things in based on what you're requesting for you in your life to actually make things better for you, right? So again, we're going to be using the water element. So one of the ways that you can use the water element, some people tell you talk the psalm into a bottle of water, a cup of water. But in this psalm, they're requesting for you to be inside of the water, because it's basically asking for abundance. You're asking for plentiful. You're asking for something of the extreme. So this is for a heavenly blessing, and you're using the element of water to make this occur. Also, keep in mind, it's however you want to use this water, right? So it's always with the intentions to actually receive something. And you have to also remember, in your subconscious mind is how you create the things that comes in and out of your life in your path. So if you coming into these Psalms book thinking negative, being negative, then it would not work. If you're coming in as a skeptic, it will not work. But if you're coming in with faith and manifestation, and when you say it, you're saying it with the intent, with the emotions, with the feelings, for you to have this abundance, this plentifulness of blessings in your way. So then it also talks about Psalm 26. They're requesting for you to say the whole psalm. And what they're asking you to do is light a green candle and pray the psalm before entering something new. So when they're saying successful in financial matters, this means what they're saying to you is, if you were really looking for like a promotion, a new job, something that is becoming to you in a way that it's new, that is brand new, right? So anything could be brand new. You want a house, you want a car, you want a new job, you want a promotion. All these things are brand new. So they're requesting for you to say Psalm 26. Now, I'm going to give you a hack, right? So on Thursdays and Wednesdays are the easiest days, because the energy is producing abundance on between Wednesdays and Thursdays, right? So on Wednesdays and Thursdays really is the real deal. But you can start from Wednesday. You're lighting the green candle, right? And you're placing this, and I'm going to go a little bit more in depth than what this person is saying in this book. You're going to light a green candle, and you're going to use fire element. And you're going to place this green candle, and you're going to write what you want. You're going to write the company of the name of the job, and you're going to write what you're requesting. So if you are writing what you're requesting based on, I want a promotion, I want a house, I want a car, and you're writing everything that you desire on this is how you get it done. You also recommend to say Psalm 62. Psalm 62 is to change your luck. So basically, they're recommending you, when you're saying this psalm, you should be lighting uncrossing incense, which you probably could find on Amazon or anywhere. And the reason why it's saying that you need to use uncrossing incense when you're saying the psalm is because sometimes we cross our own self by talking so negative about ourselves and kind of like just kind of willing negativity on us. So they also recommended you to say Psalm 62 using uncrossing incense to change your luck. All right. Um, Also, they're recommending you to say Psalm 72, which is to improve your financial conditions. Um, and what they're asking you to do is to set realistic goals for yourself, right? And be mindful of your generosity and giving. And one of the reasons why they're recommending to give, and you can be mindful of giving. You don't have to give an arm and a leg, but the realm we live on is basically has their own laws, and there's cause and effect. And when you are in the energy of giving, you will also mirror that and you will end up receiving. Right? So giving can be an abundance for you, right? Because what you're doing is pushing out this blessing onto someone's life. It has to mirror back to you. So you will receive the blessing back to yourself. So that's what they're also telling you to do to improve your financial conditions is by actually giving as well. All right? Using Psalm 72. Attracting good fortune to yourself is recommended for Psalm 74 verses 16 and 17. So when I don't tell you to say a verse, that means you got to say the whole psalm. If I don't tell you to use a fire element or a water element, then don't incorporate it. Right? So what they're saying for Psalm 74 is to use just the verse 16 and 17. They're recommending you write it on paper, put it beside your bed with a talisman. And if you don't have a talisman, you don't have to use the talisman as a prop. But they're also, and the talisman is going to be attracting things to you, attracting the fortune to you. But if you don't have it, that's fine. You can actually put on a paper and write a petition of what you want to come into your life, right? So you can also write a petition as well. And if someone doesn't understand what a petition is, it's basically a letter. You're writing a letter to God, right? And so, and you're requesting what you want to happen for you, right? So we are constantly creating, right, things in our life, right? So the petition, and you want to write it on parchment paper. I recommend you write it on parchment paper to actually bring and attract good fortune to you as well. So now I will do one more, just one more. And it says a Psalm 75 gives you the chance for the job promotion, right? And they're telling you to do verse 6 and verse 7, right? And carry it around with you, right? Now you can say it and carry it around with you. Now I want to also, give you things that I did as well. I want you to understand that your subconscious mind have to believe that you are going to be promoted, and you have to put in the perseverance of putting in the energy and setting it up. The tool starts with your subconscious thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Not to panic, not to be frustrated, not to be angry, not to be pissed, but to really believe that you have an opportunity to be promoted, right? And believe that this is going to happen. Like if someone spoke to you and said, hey, listen, we're going to give you a promotion, even if it's not a way, it will be a way, right? So there's always going to have a polarity on it, right? Even if you don't see it coming in, it's gonna be seen. And in this time of you trying to get this promotion, you should be warrior praying, right? So you should be causing this energy around you, this magnetic field around you of connecting to blessings. You need to be mindful of how you treat people, mindful for how the way you behave, because you don't want to end up going through a lesson around this time, right? So you don't want to end up pulling a karmic lesson during the times when you're asking to receive. And like I stated before, the best time to ask to receive is from the first beginning of the month, right? So because you're basically, that's the energy that's produced on the earth, that you can tap into that energy and you can actually get what you want. Now if you're trying to do it at the end of the month, understand you're going to have to do it in a different direction. You're going to have to do it in a way of banishing negativity out of your life. All right, so thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week, Wednesday, for Spiritual Wednesday.